Joining us on debate number 1 on the Newshour is Major General J.D. Bakshi, retired editor of the Indian Military Review, live from Delhi. Today, Singh, author and strategic affairs expert, also live from Delhi. Tarek Fatah, author and columnist, live from Delhi. And joining us from Pakistan this evening are Barrister Zahid, he's a former diplomat, live from Islamabad this evening. Air Vice Marshal Abid Rao, defense analyst, live from Karachi. Also on the Newshour tonight, Barrister Zafarullah Khan, senior advocate and president of the Watan party. He's live from Lahore. But my first question is to Air Vice Marshal Abid Rao. Should India use the Vienna Convention in 1961 on diplomatic relations, which of course gives India the sanction to declare any person as part of your mission as persona non grata and send Abdul Basit back? Mr. Abid Rao, we're really seriously considering that.
You can do that, you can exercise your option, but let me tell you, nobody trusts India's such allegations, because for last so many years, it is allegation versus allegation. You're not talking sense. The espionage, the spying activity is the most common and routine activity between all nations. You have caught somebody who may not be doing that. I'm not debating that, because this is a very routine activity.
No, but we are.
What puts me
I'm
down,
sorry, sir, but we are debating that.
It
is of utmost importance if there is a man employed in your... One second, sir. No, the issue here is... there is a man employed in your High Commission who is supposed to be here for diplomatic ties.
India doesn't trust Pakistan.
So, Abid Rao...
Please listen to me.
Abid Rao,
listen to me.
One second. No, you said we are not here to debate that. Let me remind you that we are here to debate exactly that. Sir, there is a man in the High Commission who is supposed to be doing diplomatic work who is caught with sensitive documents. Why should a man who is a visa officer in your High Commission be caught with documents related to our BSF troop deployment, be caught with documents related to army movement?
Countries to get some information. There is, this is not a surprising activity at all.
It's not surprising.
Our people are doing it.
Abid Rao, I think we started.
Surprising thing?
I think you started the show on the wrong premise. Sir, RSN.
Allow me to come in.
No, what is the High Commission used for? Do we have it for diplomatic relations? Or do we have High Commissions and diplomats to ruin ties? Abdul Basit has done enough damage. And RSN Singh, what's the job of a staffer at a diplomatic office to set up a spy module? Or grant visas?
Look
at the Russian and American embassies in each other's country. Every time they are catching these spies and sending them back.
What
is new about it?
Abid Rao.
He has asked me to speak, for God's sake, Air Marshal Rao. With due respect, please. You are absolutely right, Air Marshal Rao, that these espionage activities may be routine in terms of many other countries, but between India and Pakistan, let me tell you, as far as India is concerned, we are in the throes of a proxy war. So that therefore this whole episode gets accentuated in the backdrop of this proxy war, and there the question comes. Look, any vehicle, any instrument that is used for the furtherance of the proxy war has to be busted, it has to be crushed. In this case, the instrument, one important instrument, happens to be the Pakistan or the Pakistan High Commission. So therefore, as far as Vienna Convention is concerned, now look, when Vienna Convention was formulated, that time the world was not facing the menace of this jihadi proxy war. Now, how did the Americans respond to it? They had diplomatic relations with you, yet in their right for self-defense, they came inside your territory, eliminated Osama bin Laden, Vienna Convention or no Vienna Convention. When they wanted, they came in, sent their drones and eliminated Mullah Mansoor, Vienna Convention or no Vienna Convention. So therefore, my contention,
so your point is that at a time like this, when the proxy war continues,
in this particular case, we are bound, we are not constrained by any of these conventions.
Barrister Zahid Saeed, would you like to respond to that? Because as we started with Abid Rao, and he said that we're not here to debate whether or not this man was a spy. Yes, we are. So we asked you that question. You've been a diplomat yourself. This man is working in the Pakistani High Commission. This man has been caught with documents which are pertaining to our army and BSF movements and deployments at a time when our forces have been attacked by terrorists. Now, don't we have enough reason to believe that this espionage racket, which is very, very clearly being run in your High Commission? Well, if this is happening, we have reason to believe that Abdul Basit is not just in the know, but an active part of it.
Barrister, you want to take that question? Okay, he's gone silent. Major General J.D. Bakshi, you take that question, sir.
Yes, I would like to. The Air Marshal made a very interesting observation that diplomatic outposts are very natural collection centers for espionage, for intelligence. May I remind the worthy Air Marshal that in the instant case, the Pakistani High Commission has been used as a bridge for destabilization. Not only is it conducting espionage activities, it is also being employed to promote terrorism, in the sense that you are trying to reconnoiter BSF deployments on the border, identify gaps which can be used by terrorist groups to come in, kill and create mayhem. And every year, 3 to 4 times, you get the entire concert of the Hurriyat into your the confines of your embassy, and you openly preach sedition. You openly preach the breakup of this country.
Major General,
self-respecting nation state will permit you to do that?
Yeah, exactly. Major General G.D. Bakshi, I just want to underline what you said with some numbers. I just want to give you the figures of our security force personnel that have been killed between 2015 and 2016. This is the exact period that we are talking about, because we know that this man has been under the radar for the last 18 months. These are security forces personnel who've been killed at the border, and we are talking about 112 of them. Now, these security forces have been targeted by terrorists that have come from across the border. We now know that this information was being passed on by a man in the Pakistani High Commission to the ISI across the border. Now, doesn't that, let's come back to you, Barrister Zahid Saeed, if you can hear us now. Doesn't that give India enough reason to not just declare this spy as a persona non grata, but also your envoy, Abdul Basit? Why is a man in the High Commission caught with fake ID, fake Aadhaar card, documents on BSF, troop deployment of the army? What business does a visa officer have having these documents with him?
Look, we cannot go into the substance of what happened because we don't have the evidence or the facts before us.
So we have the facts. Barrister, we have the facts.
Your thing has gone off again.
I was saying that Barrister Zahid Saeed, I was telling you, I think we'll try and fix that audio line with you. Can you hear me now, sir? Can you hear us now?
I can't see you.
I can hear as long as you can hear us. As long as you can hear us.
I will answer the General Sahab.
Yes. Okay, Abid Rao. Okay, one second. Abid Rao.
Okay.
Abid Rao, before you speak, I want to bring in Barrister Zafarullah Khan. I want to bring in Barrister Zafarullah Khan, who's joining us live from
General Bakshi Sahab said, I agree with that. The question is, India and Pakistan.
Sir,
Pakistan catches so many Indian spies, never puts them on the TV.
1 second, sir.
And we deal with them as per our law. We declare your people persona non grata. We have done with so many other nationalities. French ambassador got his treatment when he tried to spy in Kahuta area in early 80s.
Sir, Abid Rao, let's bring some facts to the fore, because you said there is nothing to substantiate this arrest. I'm giving you some facts and let's take that forward, okay? You said there is no proof of this man being a spy. Proof number 1, he's a Pakistani national, a diplomat posted in your High Commission in Delhi. He joined the Baloch regiment of the Pakistani army in 1997. These are official facts known to India. He joined the ISI in 2007. He works in assistant to consular trade in the Pakistani High Commission. and we have found out what he's been doing for the last 18 months.
Let me answer that.
Sir, just putting some of the details that have emerged this
Let
evening.
me answer that.
Yeah, okay, go ahead. Espionage for terror may be common in Pakistan, but it's not common in India. Espionage for terror may be common for Pakistan, but it is not common for India.
Let me answer that, please.
Yes, please go ahead.
The fact of the position is this, that you have every right to declare anyone persona non grata, and so do we. You are doing it on your subjective assessment, and we as a sending state, our remedy is retaliation.
So what are you going to retaliate?
Yes.
I mean,
so,
you're just going to do tit for tat.
Now we will judge
based on what?
We will judge whether we will retaliate.
No, you're threatening.
Let me finish.
No. You're a former diplomat,
finish.
sir. So you're a former diplomat. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
I know.
Yeah, go ahead.
Look, let me
seconds,
finish.
Sir. 30 seconds. 30 seconds.
Please let me finish.
30 seconds, make your point.
My point is this, that the answer for the sending state of their diplomats, if they are declared persona non grata, is retaliation, proportionate retaliation. And this will lead, now if you do this to Basit, if suppose you do, I've been seeing you're contemplating this, if you do this to Basit, it will give us a right in international law to retaliate against your ambassador.
So what international law are you talking about, sir?
The choice is yours.
No, Barrister.
The choice is yours.
Barrister, across the world. Barrister,
you won't
across
go
the world.
to an independent forum.
I'm sorry, what retaliation are you talking about? I want to bring in RSN here. RSN, across the world, the Office of the High Commission is supposed to be an institution that promotes bilateral diplomacy. What is he talking about tit for tat?
Just 1 minute, sir. Just 1 minute. The barrister is threatening that come what may, we will persist with the proxy war. And should you put a spoke in the proxy war, we will retaliate, but we will persist with using diplomacy for furtherance of proxy war. That is what he implies.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And also,
I mean, we are the victims of proxy war. Do you?
Yeah.
No.
This visa office in the embassy has been not only functioning as a window of receiving documents, they have also been coordinating the jihadi war here in India.
Okay, so
you barrister, you are making a case that you have a right.
Two points that have come up, as Abid Rao himself said earlier. Okay, Abid Rao, Vice Marshal Abid Rao. One second, let me bring the others in. RSN Singh, let me bring the others in. Abid Rao, you started by saying espionage is common, right? So firstly, you are accepting that this man is a spy because you're saying espionage is common. It is carried out by all countries across the world. You are accepting that this man is a spy. Now, the second question that comes up from that, if espionage is common, is it also the job of all the high commissions and embassies across the world to have spies in their midst who are essentially tools for carrying out a proxy war against that country? Is that the purpose of a high commission or an embassy? Abid Rao?
No.
We are not talking about espionage in general. We are talking about espionage by a man in the High Commission who works as a visa
recent phenomena. Espionage is the 24 hours, 7 days a week,
for what
365 days. It's
for what
whether
purpose?
It's time or
what
time.
Purpose?
That is continuous
no, one
activity.
Second.
Please listen to me.
No,
there are so many sources. There are these businessmen, there are these embassy people, there are these special agents.
Espionage for terror? I'm asking you, why don't you answer my question?
From any
espionage for what purpose? To propagate terror. Abid Rao, if you're not going to listen to the question, I'm sorry, there's just no point and we'll have to take that to somebody else. You are not listening to the question. No, I'm sorry, this is unacceptable. acceptable.
Please listen to
You
me.
have to listen to the question and then answer it. I'm asking you,
using your High
espionage
Commission
towards
as a
what
एक
purpose?
आदमी बात करे
Can the purpose be
आप तो
terror?
6
How
आदमी
many people
इकट्ठे
are
बात
speaking? I
करें
can't understand what
Yeah,
you're
Abid
saying.
Rao, you
planning
okay,
attacks in
to all our
India.
guests, 1 second, to
For
all our guests, to all our
destabilizing
guests.
this country.
No, to all our guests, we'll take it one by one.
Declared
Abid
not
Rao,
the way to debate.
Barrister,
This is not a way to debate.
Barrister, yeah,
Please, one at a
I know,
time,
Barrister
one at a
Zafarullah
time.
Khan. 1 second, Barrister Saeed, please let your colleague from Lahore have a word in, please. And Air Marshal Abid Rao, please hold on.
Okay.
Let
Okay.
Barrister
Try
Zafarullah
to
Khan
understand.
get a word in.
Try-
Sir, okay, Barrister Zafarullah Khan, my question
Okay,
is to you,
okay,
sir.
please give me-
I want you to take this up.
Okay.
I want you to take this up with Tarek Fateh. Now, one of the arguments made by
Okay.
a Pakistani
Now the
guest
question
is that
is
this
this.
happens all the time. There is no evidence. How can you deny that there is no incriminating evidence? Because look at what's been happening in the subcontinent in the last couple of days. In our borders, what's been happening for the last 1 week. Today, India has lost one BSF Jawan.
Look,
He was killed in cross-border firing.
both
And
the
we
nation,
know that the Pakistani spy, the Pakistani spy has been giving defense details of border deployments to your guys across the border. What's the proof? This is the proof. This is the proof that we've been talking about.
Both the countries don't want to understand each other at all. They don't understand the politics. They don't understand the diplomatic relationship. Unfortunately, we are so ignorant, we even don't know how to debate an issue. I at least listen to somebody, answer them, this is the way to do it. Now question is, this diplomatic immunities available in 1961 diplomatic convention. The question is this is a privilege, discretion of any country, receiving country, to say you don't want somebody, he has to go back. You don't have to prove anything at all.
Absolutely,
You
that's
don't
what the
have to
Vienna
prove
Convention
anything at
says.
all.
Barrister,
Say-
that's what the Vienna Convention says. That's what the Vienna
You don't have
Convention
to-
says, that we don't have to give any reasons. And you were referring to, when you said, I heard somebody say there will be, an equal and opposite reaction. That was a colleague of yours sitting in Pakistan saying that Pakistan will do the same. And when you said that is not how things
No,
are
no,
done,
you don't need to
being
do
a
the same.
barrister are contradicting Barrister Saeed. You're contradicting your own country's stand.
A book. Why don't you read a book
I'm not talking about
Persona non
Yeah,
grata?
you've just contradicted your own.
Sending
I
state
know what
has
is
a
it.
right to retaliate in proportion.
I know what is right.
But that's not the point.
I know what is
Barrister
right, what is
Zahid
wrong.
Saeed.
I think
our
there is
both-
a very critical point here.
Yeah, GD
Yeah.
Bakshi, please.
Both our Pakistani guests are clearly not on the same side. Major General GD Bakshi.
Kindly. Ambassador, kindly, Barrister, kindly. There is a very critical distinction. Air Marshal Abid Rao makes a reasoned case, he tries to make a reasoned case that since time immemorial, embassies have been used for espionage. Okay, even if we go with that, my point is embassies have not been used to foster terror.
Exactly.
Embassies have not been used to collect gaps on the border which terrorists can use to come and kill people.
Absolutely.
Please read UN Security Council Resolution 1267, which prohibits all countries from supporting terrorists in any form or manner whatsoever.
That's the point.
Here you have Pakistani military personnel, deputed as counselors, as visa officers, who are collecting intelligence on the border deployment to identify gaps which can be exploited by terrorists.
That's the point.
For God's sake, this is a grievous violation of the UN Security Council.
Let me bring in Tarek Fateh on this.
1267.
Okay, Major General GD Bakshi, let me bring in Tarek Fateh on this. And Tarek Fateh, this is exactly the
you
point.
don't understand.
I was trying. No, 1 second,
You're
sir.
you're a
Please have the
military
courtesy
man.
to allow other
You
people
do
to
not
speak.
understand
There is
the
just no point in
function of
talking over
diplomacy.
everybody else. Hold on. Tarek Fateh, this is exactly the
They are
point that I was
entitled-
making to Barrister Zahid Saeed and to Abid Rao, which seem to be completely lost on them. My point is, even if you take what they say at face value, that espionage has been going on since time immemorial, it happens everywhere. What I asked them was, but for what purpose? Can the purpose be terror? Is that an acceptable purpose? Tarek Fateh.
You see, you have to understand where these Pakistanis come from. for too long, the state policy has been terrorism. In their own innocence, I would suggest that they no longer distinguish between state policy or matters of espionage and intelligence that are meant to measure or know the capacity of an enemy country or an opponent as different than being efforts to commit war crimes and send state-sponsored terrorists across the border, which in many times are their own soldiers in civilian uniforms. As far as Delhi is concerned, I can assure you, and I have evidence, that the number 2 man of Pakistan's intelligence bureau, the IB people, have been stationed here for 6 consecutive years. These people work out of Delhi, and this is a message to India that there is nothing to be gained in having diplomatic relations with Pakistan. As long as you continue to do that, you will suffer 1,000 cuts by these people who are blind to the issue of terror.
Tarek Fatah, you know, a very interesting point, because Air Marshal Abid Rao, what did you say? You say it happens in every country. I agree with you, it happens with every country, but we do not use espionage. Espionage is not carried out to carry out terror activities and proxy wars across the border. You have a well-recorded history of spying achievements in between 2013 and 2016. 46 Pakistani espionage agents have been rounded up by India. In 2016, this month itself, the Gujarat Anti-Terrorist Squad has arrested 2 people working as spies, both for the ISI. In August this year, a Pakistani spy was arrested by the Rajasthan police from Jaisalmer. So you are notorious for doing this, and you have been doing it on a scale which is never seen before. Post 2013, you have been doing it, and it's happening rampantly now. I'm not surprised when you say it happens everywhere, but we don't, nobody uses espionage for terror.
Should I answer you now?
Yes, go ahead, Abid Rao.
I am surprised that you all Indians are surprised. This is a very routine activity, and why should you be surprised if Pakistan is doing that?
That is for you,
we
Pakistani.
are not surprised when we catch Indian
Abid
spies
Rao,
here.
that's for you,
we are not at all
Pakistanis.
surprised. We catch Indian terrorists.
So
absolutely,
no.
In that case,
Let me tell you, General Bakshi can verify that. Please listen to me. During Kargil operation, your DGMO told my DGMO, I have heard that myself.
No, why don't you
which
just
he said that we both know so much about each other that there is no surprise, you know.
Abid Rao, why don't you just send ISI agents then? Why don't you just send ISI agents instead of labeling these guys diplomats?
We have the right to do that.
No, what I'm saying,
we use that even for counterintelligence.
No, I'm saying if you say it happens, don't be surprised. Why don't you just send ISI agents instead of calling them diplomats? If you are not surprised,
because that's how they do it.
Your embassy has so many people from RAW.
So I'm sorry, sir, we don't do this. We don't need your defense documents.
So many cases
our army is capable. Our army is capable. We don't need defense. We don't need defense documents. Our surveillance is good enough.
So, I am not surprised.
Abid Rao,
you have taken.
Abid Rao, unfortunately, you're missing the main point again. Abid Rao, if you heard what Tarek Fateh said and what GD Bakshi said, 1 second, the main point that's being made here is not about espionage being a surprise. Nobody is surprised. Nobody is surprised. The question that is being asked is, what is the espionage being used for? Counterintelligence is one thing, but remember the fact: 38 days after you broadcast to the world that you are a country that is pushing terror across the border and attacking our security forces, a member of your High Commission has been found with precisely this kind of sensitive information pertaining to the BSF and the Army's deployments. What is that espionage being used for is the question. GD Bakshi, you want to come in back on that, because Abid Rao continues to say that espionage is nothing surprising. But the question is, what is that espionage being used for?
Go a step ahead. Please go ahead.
Air Marshal Abid Rao, we respect you as a professional. I think let's keep this debate professional. I said, okay, it is accepted convention, ages old, that embassies have been used for espionage, that there are officers, legals who operate under legal diplomatic cover. Yes, but they, sir, collect authentic intelligence. They do not promote the activities, my dear Air Marshal, of terrorists. They do not look for gaps through which terrorists
this
can
man
be
is not a
infiltrated
terrorist.
to kill
Don't
civilians,
put that
women,
allegation.
children, old and infirm. The man who has been
if he is
caught
getting information
was
about
caught
Indian
trying
Army and
to
BSF,
locate the
it is as simple as that.
deployment.
It has nothing to do with terrorism.
Deployment on the border,
It has everything to-
counter-terrorist deployment on the border. Because the only war that your country, unfortunately, has been fighting, Air Marshal, is this asymmetric war, this proxy war.
No.
You have failed
Don't forget,
4 times to
India
take
does
Kashmir
not
by
follow
force.
all international
You have
conventions
dismally failed to take
on
it
human
by military
rights,
force.
on freedom fighters,
Only
on
on
so many
is
other
this proxy war.
areas.
No, one second.
don't-
Abid Rao,
every country uses it selectively.
let the other panelists from Pakistan come in, please. Let the other panelists from Pakistan please have their say in the program. Barrister Zafarullah Khan, are you surprised? Now, we are surprised sitting here when when somebody like Air Marshal Abid Rao says, no, it is usual activity. No, we collected. Defense documents are collected and passed on, but there's no link to terrorism. I mean, what are we talking about? We know that these documents, he is an ISI agent, goes to the ISI, Pakistani army, and we know what Pakistan army is doing at the border, pushing terrorists across the line of control and the border. It's happening. So you can't say, no, we are spying, but we are spying on your defense establishment, sending back documents which only our army will use. Please stop kidding. You have accepted on this program that yes, we do it, it happens, but only our army is using it. Please, let's not be kidding. We know what's happening at the border.
Please try to understand. One thing is very sure. This is not a proxy war. It's a poisoned relationship. Is a war. Unfortunately, under this article of diplomatic convention, you can have a discretion to say anything about anything whom you want to send out. It is nothing wrong with you what you have done. If Pakistan will do, it is nothing wrong with that.
Fair enough.
So this is not the question at all.
Fair enough.
This is not the question at all.
Barrister,
the question is,
fair enough. You're saying that both countries have the right to take whatever action they want. But the question is, so are you accepting the fact that this man who is a spy has been working in your High Commission, has been sending back sensitive information with regards to our BSF and our army and troop deployment and movement to the ISI? Are you accepting that that information has therefore been used? It's been used. That's why it's being sent.
I mean, he will send this information on Indian Army.
Have you not got
I simply stated.
The question was for Barrister Zafarullah Khan. Please allow him to answer.
Privilege.
Yeah.
If you want to keep somebody, please do. If you don't want to keep me, send him out.
So very candid of you to say that, sir.
Yeah, we should send Basit
It is nothing wrong with you what you are doing.
It's very candid of you to say that. RSN Singh.
This is nothing wrong what you have done.
The two sides of Pakistan, RSN Singh, the two sides of Pakistan are visible on this program. On one hand, you have Barrister Zafarullah Khan saying no, revenge and retaliation is not the answer. If you want to send someone back, please do that. On the other hand, you have another side of Pakistan also on the debate, Barrister Zahid Saeed and Air Vice Marshal Abid Rao saying it happens all the time and there's no basis for you to send him back. But I mean, Pakistan has tied itself in knot on this program. RSN Singh.
As far as Pakistan is concerned,
for God's sake, listen to me carefully.
There is a totally different diplomatic culture that exists there. May I remind the viewers that just a few 2-3 years back, what had happened? 2 CIA fellows, they came out, shot 2-3 people in Pakistan, and that was a criminal act, and they just couldn't do anything about it. The Americans went ahead with it, and they got out with impunity. Isn't the barrister aware that an Iranian diplomat, just a minute, an Iranian diplomat was killed in Pakistan by the same Lashkar-e-Jangwu which has carried out this attack in the police academy. So therefore, what I want to say that with Pakistan, the diplomatic paradigm is totally different, and India has to factor that. Please, for God's sake,
Davis was a consular member of the staff,
RSN,
not a diplomat.
Sir, have Have you heard any diplomat, any foreign diplomat being assassinated on our soil? So therefore, this roguish behavior, it extends to the diplomatic arena as well. And sir, have you? How did A.Q. Khan carry out his nuclear smuggling? Through all your embassies in Europe, sir. Through all your embassies in Europe. So you do all kind of thieving, clandestine activities through your embassies, and you want to quote Vienna Convention to us. I don't think we should even take that on the face value.
Yeah, Arisen, let's ask one question. Okay, Barrister versus Barrister. Barrister's Saeed live from Karachi this evening versus Barrister Zafarullah Khan live from Lahore this evening. Let's prove the contrast on this program. Barrister Zafarullah Khan believes it's India's right to send someone back. Am I correct, Barrister? Yes or no?
Yes.
Am I correct? Yes. Barrister Saeed, is India right in sending this man back?
He has a right. And right, privilege and discretion as well.
Absolutely. I agree with you, sir. Thank you very much, because we need more voices like yours, because India is ready to even send Basit back. And India should send Basit back. Tarek Fatah, should we send Basit back? We have a guest, a Pakistani guest saying yes, please send them back.
Well, it all depends on whether India wants to add
this guy is running issues in the valley.
India and Pakistan.
He's involved with terrorists in Jammu and Kashmir.
Now, if you want to escalate, we will escalate.
So Pakistan was
that is our right.
From Pakistan.
Want to do it?
But who's escalating? Barrister Zahid Said, who is escalating?
Is neither good for your country nor for ours.
The question of this man being declared persona non grata and being given 48 hours to go back has come up because he has been found with sensitive information. The most recent information he had provided was about the Indian Army units movement in Kashmir, for example. So who has escalated this situation? Your man sitting as a visa officer in your High Commission sending information to the ISI about our army and our BSF, or our establishment who upon finding this decides to declare this person persona non grata to protect our own national security? Who has escalated this situation, GD Bakshi? He's saying if you escalate, we will also escalate, but who has escalated it?
Absolutely right you are. Absolutely right you are. You raised a very important issue that should we send the ambassador back. Kindly give me a chance. That we should send the ambassador back. I would like to ask our Pakistani interlocutors, how would they react if our ambassador called Baluchi insurgents, as they put it, to the embassy? He called the rebels in Gilgit-Baltistan to the Indian embassy. He called the rebels in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir and issued them calendars of protest. Would you accept it? This is what this man, your ambassador, has been doing, getting the Hurriyat, planning coups, planning chaos and mayhem in Jammu and Kashmir, openly interfering in our internal affairs. He has done it a number of times. The man charged with building peace between India and Pakistan has done the worst to spoil relations. I think we should send him back packing.
General GD Bakshi, the same Abdul Basit, and I want to bring in Air Vice Marshal Abid Rao. Abid Rao, Abdul Basit says Hafiz Saeed is a free man. He's free to make any statements. Hafiz Saeed is a Pakistani national. He's free to roam around. So what's the problem? This is Abdul Basit. Abdul Basit is the same man who defied India's warnings against meeting with Kashmiri separatists. He does it again and again, even when there is so much tension between the two countries. In the last 1 week, he's met separatists on a couple of occasions. He's in fact the same man who displayed his support for terrorism on Indian soil when he said he subscribes to China's viewpoint on banning Jaish-e-Mohammed's chief Masood Azhar. So you've sent an envoy. Who's an envoy? An envoy supposed
first
to
of all, let
improve
me correct
ties
General Sahab.
or worsen ties.
Kashmir is a disputed territory, forcibly occupied. Today we have had the Black Day celebrated all over Pakistan. all Kashmiris and Pakistanis celebrated.
Sir, this has nothing to
The
do with
day
that.
when
Please
their
come back to
Raja
the
filed
point.
an
Abid Rao,
affidavit of accession
Abid Rao, please come back to the point.
with you under coercion.
Abid Rao, you have
Balochistan
the
or any part of Pakistan is not comparable.
1 second, Abid Rao,
And we have been calling these
don't go to
people
Kashmir,
and
sir.
Don't try to make
Don't go about talking Kashmir.
Unfortunately, after 9/11,
Abid Rao, you're a reasonable panelist.
Because anything that happens in Kashmir is wrong,
Abid Rao, you're a
illegal,
reasonable
immoral
panelist.
by
Please come
Indian
back.
forces.
Please come back and answer my question. I was asking you about
Please.
Abdul Basit and the
Now,
provocations
when he
on the
says
part
that
of
he
the
wants to
Pakistani
call
ambassador.
the Baloch rebels or somebody else. Tarek Fatah is sitting there. You talk to him. And
Sir,
be
I'm
happy
asking you
about
about. Sir, I asked you a valid
Pakistan,
question. Abid Rao,
has-
did I ask you about Kashmir or did I ask you about what your ambassador has been doing? Did I ask you
You're
about
talking
Kashmir
about
or did I ask you about what your ambassador has been
movement
doing?
in Kashmir.
Please answer him.
We
Yeah,
know
Major
about
General
it.
G.D. Bakshi,
We
take him
want to
on.
know about it. We'll keep updating that.
General G.D.
You
Bakshi,
should
take him
not
on.
be surprised at it. And therefore, our embassy will keep
Air
calling
Marshal,
the
Air
Hurriyat
Marshal,
people because
Air Marshal,
that
you
one
made a
dispute
very
is still
important
outstanding
point.
in which Pakistan is a
Air
party.
Marshal, can I please answer?
Yes, please go ahead.
Air
General
Marshal
G.D. Bakshi,
Abid Rao, can I kindly answer?
Okay, Major General.
Yeah. You know, Air Marshal, you made the observation that Kashmir is disputed territory. In 2010, the United Nations Security Council took it off the list of disputes it was to monitor. They said it will be solved bilaterally. By
Sir,
your
it is still
definition,
there. It is still
Pakistan
there. It is
occupied
still there.
Kashmir. No, please. No, excuse me. Let me finish. Pakistan occupied Kashmir is also disputed territory, right? The Indian Parliament has passed a resolution that it should be handed back to India. The UN Security Council resolution has said you should clear out of POK.
So,
how would you
let's have
like
a
if our
plebiscite.
ambassador
If they
called
vote in your
every
favor, take
day
it.
political leaders of POK to the Indian
Okay.
embassy?
Okay, Abid Rao, respond to that. The fact is that this debate is not about Kashmir. If we are not debating that, Kashmir is an integral part of India. Kashmiris have participated in huge numbers in our democratic polls.
okay,
So you know what? We don't want to go there, but
It's
I'll
nothing to do with
give
Kashmir.
I'll give you 30 seconds to respond to what
shut
G.D.
the
Bakshi is
thing
saying,
off.
but this is not where the debate is headed.
They can celebrate any territory, they can sulk any territory, you know.
Sir, it is a black day. When he talks about black day, RSN saying, yes, it is a black day for them. It is a black day because they're embarrassed because this happens 38 days after they prove to the world that yes, we
is
will
so
push terror.
sensitive that
They
all
use
of you
the
have
defense.
reacted.
Sir, Abid Rao,
The question
I want to
is-
bring in Barrister Zahid Saeed here.
You have the right to know
just
about
one minute,
our
Okay,
arguments.
RSN,
We have the
take
right
him on.
to know
It
about
is
our
their
arguments.
it
So
is
what
their
is so big
prerogative.
about
Whatever
it?
they
I mean,
want
you are
to celebrate or
debating
sulk,
on
they
TV.
will have to soon sulk about Balochistan. That is a different issue. But I want to make a larger point here. I expected my government to use this nabbing of these spies, Pakistani spies, as a quid pro quo to Jadhav, Commander Jadhav, who was abducted from the Iranian soil. And I would still insist that we need to create a quid pro quo. This was an act of criminality, and till today, Air Marshal Rao, Nawaz Sharif hasn't had the guts to take up this, you know, to declare Jadhav.
Okay, RSN Singh, RSN Singh, I want to come. RSN Singh, give me a minute.
On any international forums, because there are Iranian involved, let me tell you. Your Senator Sherry
RSN Singh, we need to get back to the main point here. RSN Singh.
Challenging Nawaz Sharif.
Okay, Barrister.
She would donate
Barrister Zahid
50,000 rupees to a blind
RSN Singh, I need to bring the debate back to
take up this matter internationally.
Barrister Zahid
So
Saeed.
if you don't allow diplomatic access to Jadhav, we will be compelled to create a quid pro quo, and in this case I think the government has been amiss in not using it as an opportunity.
Okay.
He's our man, and he will not be allowed.
See, the question of quid pro quo comes
not
later.
be allowed to languish in your jail.
The question of quid pro quo comes later. 1 second. Barrister Zahid Saeed, I want to come back to you on one of the main points that we are making here tonight. We are talking about Abdul Basit, right? Now, as Niranjan pointed out, he is the same man due to whom the the bilateral talks fell through. They didn't happen. Any kind of engagement that was being done between India and Pakistan for positive movement forward, for the peace process, for the dialogue process, was scuttled because of this man. He had been told very clearly in absolutely explicit terms by the Indian establishment that if he engaged with separatists, the dialogue process would fall through. He still went and did it, which means despite being here as the envoy trying to make diplomatic ties between the two countries, he did the exact opposite. He did so intentionally. He broke whatever peace process was underway at the time. Why should therefore India not send this man back? What is the purpose of an envoy? What is the purpose of a high commissioner? And especially between countries that are struggling to get the peace process back on track.
Well, look,
There's no peace
let me give you the larger picture,
no peace
please.
process.
Let me give you the larger picture. Your Prime Minister made a great gesture to Pakistan.
How did
by coming here to Lahore.
What happened after that, sir?
And
what happened after that, sir?
Yes, I'll tell you what happened after that.
Yeah, we all know.
He was opposed by his own party. That you have stood up for elections.
What childish.
So what are you talking about, sir? Please.
Being tough with Pakistan.
I'm sorry. I'll tell you what, sir.
Let me finish.
Sir, we give you a chance.
Let me finish.
Okay, 30 seconds.
Don't
30 seconds.
heckle me. Let me finish.
Okay, 30 seconds.
Don't heckle me.
Okay, please, 30 seconds.
I'm sorry, I will...
30 seconds.
Let me finish. Let me finish.
Oh my God.
Don't you have ears?
Take it easy.
Look, let me finish.
Take it easy.
Let me finish.
So we're all waiting.
Your Prime Minister did the right thing and he was greatly praised here in this country, but his own right wing was annoyed and now he's facing
election. Nobody was annoyed, sir.
So he's
nobody was. Yes, we were annoyed.
Sir,
of course we were annoyed.
Relations.
Sir, we were all annoyed. I'll tell you why.
You're not talking.
No, I'm sorry. Barrister.
You're not talking.
Barrister.
Yeah.
Barrister.
As far as Basit is concerned, he's doing his duty.
Of course he's doing his duty, sir. Of course he's doing his duty, sir. Of course he's doing his duty. I'll tell you what his duty is.
This will serve you even more.
Yeah, I'll tell you, sir. I'll tell you what his duty is. I'll tell you what he's been doing. I'll tell you what he's been doing, sir. Sending defense documents of border establishments. Sending defense documents to his ISI handlers across the border. Is that his duty, sir? Is his duty to set up an ISI module in India?
I don't care.
No, is his duty to set up an ISI module?
You have already declared.
No, is his duty to hire people who can get defense deployment maps? Is his duty to get border area BSF deployment maps?
So,
is his duty to use honey traps to extract information?
Your man, you look at what your person was doing.
Who, sir?
You were in Balochistan.
Who's that, sir?
This Yadif character.
Barrister.
He had actual target killers.
Sir, I'll tell you something. Barrister, fact check for a Pakistani guest.
And he was not a diplomat.
No, 1 second, sir. Fact check for Barrister Saeed. Fact check.
I would like to see
1 second. You spoke about Kulbhushan Jadhav.
Prime Minister who deserves respect,
sir,
to go back to his original
You spoke about Kulbhushan Jadhav
and sit down with Pakistan.
Barrister, I heard you out. Please hear me out, sir.
And sort out these matters through negotiation.
There is no negotiation, sir. Last you heard we isolated you. Last you heard we had isolated you, sir. What are you talking about, Barrister? You spoke about Kulbhushan Jadhav. Let me give you a fact check. The Iranian president has gone on to dismiss the whole spy affair. Sir, the Iranian president, not India, the Iranian president has dismissed the entire spy affair and that bogey that you raised in the name of Kulbhushan Jadhav. He was rumored by Pakistan to have come into Balochistan from Iran and that nonsense was rubbished and you are saying he was caught in Pakistan. What are you talking about, Barrister? Tariq Fatah, they tried to float a spy theory which has fallen flat.
I don't want to go into all the evidence.
Everyone knows.
On it.
Everyone other than the Pakistanis know
what was
the story of Yadav.
What are you talking about, sir?
Don't give me Pakistani ISI agents working in Iranian Balochistan.
To the British
and they are the ones who sold it to the Pakistani counterparts, the ISI over there.
Yeah. Tariq Fatah, please conclude your point.
The point
Barrister,
is,
you must let the others speak.
Was
Tariq
taken by Pakistani ISI agents inside Iran. The Iranian government knows that Pakistan is doing dirty work to bring problems between Iran and India. Nobody is a fool, sir. You are a state that sponsors terrorism. Living over there, you have no clue. For you, terrorism and the state and Pakistan are one and the same thing. Unfortunately, the rest of the world does not agree with you.
How are we sponsoring terrorism when we are inviting
By
you
killing
No, 1 second. Barrister Zahid Saeed. Barrister Zahid Saeed, and you know, it's going to be difficult to speak over you because you're not letting others talk. But the point that you were also making earlier, you were saying that Abdul Basit is doing his job. How is he doing his job? His job is not to meet with the separatists. If his job, as per Pakistan, as per your view, if his job is to meet with separatists and not engage with the Indian government, then I'm sorry, we have full reason to send him back. Major General G.D. Bakshi, as Barrister Zahid Saeed is saying, Abdul Basit has been doing his job to the T. Well, if his job is to be engaging with separatists and scuttling any dialogue process that was going on at the time, then we have all the more reason to just send him back. Because if that is the purpose that he is here for, we certainly don't need him here.
Decide that.
G.D. Bakshi.
What is your MEA doing?
Look, for God's sake,
What is your government doing? Or it is left to the evening talk shows on Indian media?
Sir, please come to the point, sir. Talk to the point. Yeah.
Your
Let's talk on facts,
ambassador has sabotaged every single peace effort. Your ambassador has gone out of his way to get the Hurriyat separatists to his embassy time and again. And he has done everything to interfere in the internal affairs of India. He has promoted espionage that supports terrorist activities as opposed to normal, or what would we say, run-of-the-mill military espionage. He has used his embassy staff personnel to
No, he's not doing it for Delhi. He's doing for Kashmir.
Create conditions
Sir, please.
And
for
Kashmir is a disputed territory.
Abid, please.
That.
So what are you talking about, Abid? How does Kashmir come into this, please?
Council resolution
Abid, please be reasonable in your argument, Abid. Abid, please be reasonable in your argument. It has nothing to do with Kashmir. Please don't keep harping on Kashmir. You've been reasonable in debating so far, so please make your point, but don't drag Kashmir in. It has nothing to do with this. We're talking about the spy racket.
There are a lot of international resolutions that India doesn't follow.
Oh, sir, please, let's not even.
Even if you want to go down that road, and we certainly don't, the point is that has nothing to do with what we are discussing here. Let me break it down for you. What we are discussing here is a diplomat providing sensitive information, which is in fact affecting our national security, passing on this information to the ISI, information which is eventually being used for terrorist attacks on our security forces. That is what we are discussing here. So we are not discussing Kashmir at all, because it has nothing to do, and certainly nothing to do with Abdul Basit. If you say Abdul Basit is doing this for Kashmir, it means absolutely nothing to us. Kashmir is an integral part of India. What has Abdul Basit got to do with Kashmir?
Come in here.
The North Pole as the integral part of India or Greenland.
Yeah.
When the United Nations says it's a disputed territory, it is a disputed territory. And you are there as interlopers.
Sir, please, sir, don't go back to Kashmir every time.
Kashmir and Pakistani controlled Kashmir.
Sir,
and
please,
this,
Barrister,
and you are
at the end of every debate, Barrister, at the end of every debate, what happens is, and this is a standard practice. Sir, I'm sorry for the first. I'm sorry. When you lose all your arguments,
doesn't mean that
Barrister Zahid Saeed, please be reasonable, sir. Please be reasonable. You and Air Vice Marshal Abid, when you lose all arguments, start talking Kashmir. RSN Singh, last concluding statement, please. RSN, concluding remarks.
Can I come in?
Yeah, okay.
Can I come in?
Yes, please. Final concluding comments. Yeah.
Yeah. See, the fact of the matter. The fact of the matter is that the High Commissioner, the Pakistani High Commissioner, he has got nothing positive to promote between India and Pakistan. Trade, no, he has got a nil role. As far as cultural exchanges are concerned, absolutely nil role. He is here only for furtherance of proxy war, and all his activities, hardly a diplomat. We have other diplomats in this country. Even, we consider even China as our adversary, but there is a huge trade component at least with China and many other components.
Yeah.
But in the case, with the case of Pakistan, here is a gentleman who is hardly a diplomat, who is here only to promote terror, who is only here to promote, to promote Pakistan's lust for territory, and therefore I see no reason what great great loss India will suffer, whether he stays here or not.
Arison, and on that note, I'd like to end the debate by defining what Vienna Convention 1961 is to all our guests in Pakistan. At least one guest, Barrister Zafarullah Khan, thank you for agreeing that India has the right to send someone back. I completely agree with you, and I think you're the first Pakistani guest who says, yes, send Basit back. Thank you for that. But let me end. No, 1 second. Zahid, don't say a word. You know why? Because I'm going to read out Vienna Convention 1961. The function of a diplomatic mission is A, represent the state, the sending state in the receiving state, protect the receiving state and the interests of the sending state and of its nationals within the limits permitted by international law. C, negotiate with the government of the receiving state. D, ascertain by all lawful means conditions and developments in the receiving state and reporting thereon to the government of the sending state. Sir, by your own definition, Air Vice Marshal Abid Rao, you started by saying this is a routine affair, spying happens, and as we speak, defense documents were handed over to ISI. There is firing at the border. We know where these documents are going, and India will not tolerate that. To all our Pakistani guests and to our guests in New Delhi, thank you for joining us on debate number 1.